Hi there, everybody. It's Fred Thomas, and you are watching Rideable TV, the home of all things bike, frame and wheel, and AD bikes. And this is part 3 of our series that investigates who the sponsors are of UCI World Tour Pro Cycling Teams. So let's take a look at the presentation. We are on Lotto Soudal. Lotto Soudal. Okay, Lotto is the Belgian national lottery. I think after about 10 years of them being present in the scene, somehow I figured that one out. Soudal, I had no idea who that was. It's actually a Belgian manufacturer of adhesives and sealants used for construction and quite a few other things, I'm sure. They have high recognition in Belgium. Again, you know, the global audience, I think, has connected and understands that Lotto is related to a lottery. And everybody knows Caleb Ewan, the sprinter from New Zealand. It's such a shame that he got that he crashed out, but I know he will be back. The team rides Ridley bikes, and if there were a US equivalent, it would be called Powerball DAP. You can tell I spent some time caulking windows to figure that one out. Movistar team. Movistar is a Spanish mobile phone service provider. All this time, I thought it had something to do with tickets. I thought it was a global concert ticket, or not even global, but a European Ticketmaster of some sort. I'm sure they've got high recognition in Spain. They're on Canyon Bikes, which, by the way, is sponsoring 3 teams in the tour this year. You know, we all thought it might be Specialized, but it's Canyon. And if there were a US equivalent, it would be Verizon, I think. Team Bahrain victorious. I learned a lot about Bahrain by doing this. Bahrain is a Gulf state of about 300 square miles. It's a third of Rhode Island. It's very small. Its GDP and population are the size of Delaware and Hawaii, respectively. So that helps you quantify it. I think Bahrain, like the other countries that sponsor teams, they're very keen to raise their profile with the outside world. I think they have realized that they can't be a petrostate forever because there's just may not be enough oil to keep doing what they're doing. They certainly export oil, but they're also exporting dates and aluminum, and they're known for tourism. It's a beautiful place to visit. The team rides Merida frames, and if it were sponsored by a US equivalent, it would be Delaware Triumphant or Hawaii Unbeaten. And Team Bike Exchange, that is an Australian online secondary marketplace for bike gear. You know, I've heard of it. I think if you're a cyclist trying to sell your old gear, yeah, you might have heard of it. They're on the web, but they're based in Australia, and I think clearly they've got high recognition in Australia, but they've got recognition all over now. For a while, initially, the word exchange, a little bit confusing. Marketplace might have been the better choice. But that's typically used in Australia and UK. That's fine. They're on by Yankees. And if it were sponsored by a US team, well, then it would be Frame and Wheel, which is the leading full service provider of selling services for cyclists, bike shops, bike companies, and cycling related nonprofit organizations. And Frame and Wheel does the same thing, except it's full service. You got stuff that's got to get sold. You get it to us, we do the whole thing. You don't have to list it and deal with the friction of e-commerce. You get it to us, and it gets sold, and you get a check. Coming up next is Team DSM. I had to spend a lot of time looking into what these guys do. It's a German provider of nutritional products as well as materials, building materials of very, very specified types of materials. They do some work for the consumer market, and it looks like they do some work for the commercial or the industrial market related to nutritional products. It was confusing. I typed in DSM, and I came up with, the first thing that comes up is the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Illnesses. which is a publication that comes out from the medical sector every year. And then a few things down is the DSM. They're not that. They are a commercial organization. They sponsor this team. The team is on Scott. If there was a U.S. equivalent, it might be GNC Cargill. So that is part 3 of our research into the sponsors of the UCI World Tour cycling teams. Check out the playlist for what we've got up there and the overview. We're going to be talking to you again soon.